You're now listening to So You Were Saying
with Dora and Lex.
Tune in every Friday for the latest episode.
Stay open because it's, hot in here.
It's getting hot in here.
So take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot. I want to take my clothes off. All right, cool. So let's just go ahead and start. And hey, guys.
Hey, you are now You're toothed in. Yes. That's I don't know. I can't English, y'all. Lately, every episode is like, what did I just say? Anyways, you're now tuned in to another episode of So You Were Saying with your host,
Miss Dora
and Lex. We really do need to get something for this intro.
I don't know. I haven't upgraded my editing skills to that just yet.
Yeah, you gotta put that audio sound. That little ding ding. You really need to just insert it so I don't have to say it every time.
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, what are we here for?
Oh, okay. So today is an interesting topic.
A very interesting topic indeed.
Even the title is sensational.
Yeah, actually, the title, I give credit where credit is due. I found it via TikTok.
TikTok be saving our lives.
And I don't exactly know. Yeah, cut me down a little bit. There was a little cackle there. But
you
anyways.
understand you're getting cut down. Okay, go ahead.
The topic is married single mothers.
Yes.
Married single mothers.
Not married and single mothers. No. Married single mothers.
And I saw this video on TikTok and I was just like, you know what? This needs to be spoken about because I feel like, first of all, I've been feeling like this. It's just crazy to me that somebody actually put that title on TikTok, right? I was gonna say social media, but whatever, TikTok. And I think that is so beautiful that it was finally just said out loud that there are so many married single mothers. There are so many women in relationships and marriages, right? You don't necessarily need to be legally married to be in a common, I call them, what is it, the common law marriage, depending on how long you've been, but whatever. Point is, you have a partner, but you're a single mom or a single parent. Sometimes it's single parent. Honestly, I do know some great dads. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, we're just talking about the mothers. No offense, fathers. Y'all matter, but not in this.
She's mad at y'all. You are the culprit today.
Right. And I know many of you know, right? Dora doesn't have children. I have a daughter. But we're going to talk about it anyway because sis got 2 cents. And it's just, they're going to be said. I'm going to let you ease in and then I'll jump in.
Oh, I have to take the reins on this one.
Yeah, because though I need to gather my feelings.
I don't even know where to take this because it's just something that is so, again, right. I don't have kids. So for me, it's more of, I've definitely seen a lot of married single mothers. Some that may or may not be in my family. Y'all know who y'all are. But it's just, I feel like it's sad, right? Because I think you have but one chance to raise a child from 0 to 18, whatever. But we all understand that being a mother is for life, or a parent is for life. But realistically, those crucial years, it's such a small time frame in comparison to the rest of the entire, child's life.
The first 7 years make up such a big portion of who the adult is going to be.
Right. But again, my main thing is I just don't understand if you did not want this, why you partook in the act of making a baby. That will always be my thing. I'm stuck on, you do know that this didn't have to happen. So you could have just moved on from there. I'm just saying. That's my main thing. Because I'm like, why would you purposely bring a child to then not want to give it your all? Because I just don't. And again, we're in the Bronx, so they be doing some things out here in these streets.
You might hear it, you might not. But if you hear it, we apologize in advance. It's the Bronx.
Oh, that
you're
sounds
gonna
loud.
hear that.
You're gonna hear that. Okay. Okay, Mr. Motorcycle, turn it down just a notch. But yeah, I mean, it's complex, and I don't want to say too much because I know I'm not a parent, So a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, you don't know. You don't know."
But you
But
don't
it's
necessarily,
just
I feel like you don't necessarily, again, you can be an outsider looking in and see someone's situation and still have an opinion on it and still,
mhm,
have not just an opinion, but an educated, I forget the term that I'm trying to put here, but
educated conclusion of why the hell did you do this? Yeah, I know. It's just
I was
but
like,
that's
help me out.
but that's my thing. My thing is there's no such thing at or at least to me, there's no such thing as an oops baby. Like there was some sort of conscientiousness that went into this whole thing.
Right.
So why are we then switching and flipping and saying, okay, I just choose not to partake in this? Like, and for the men, it's just like, okay, I want to be a father to say that I'm a father, but you're not going to actually step up to the plate and do what you need to do as a
They like
father.
all the cute parts of it. It's like the yo, bro, congratulations,
Yeah.
gender reveal, baby shower, like depending on how the type of person that you are, right? Obviously, some men don't even care about that, but
Hmm.
trust me, some men don't even care about that. Yeah, this is going to be a tough topic for me because I'm about to spill a lot of my own personal tea, and a large part of me, I don't even want to spill this tea just because it's my current life. And most things that we talk about on this podcast have been
Our past lives.
right, my past life that I've already grown through. However, this is something that I am currently growing through, and I am not doing well in this particular area. Um, that's how the topic came about in the first place because I was like, yo, it's
I'm
so
sick and
rough.
tired of being
I'm
sick and
sick and
tired.
tired of being sick and tired, and it's such a relevant topic. And I feel like I'm not gonna cry on live. That's what I'm not gonna do. Hold on,
We're not on
I,
live.
or whatever. Like you felt,
Like,
I felt that cackle in the back of my throat just now. I
it's
was
like,
like,
oh God,
wait a second.
wait, honey.
It's been an emotional week, y'all. Um, but what I will say is, bear with me because this is a lot for me to be divulging. Um, and I might be all over the place.
I'm just gonna be a filler.
I'm just like, I'm gonna be all over the place. All right. So many of you don't know.
Oh God.
I know, I know. I feel like my heart is like
I'm like, what
right
are you
now.
saying right now? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Many of you don't know um that, oh God, I'm gonna have to give like a lot of history, like there's a lot of background that has to go into this for people to even understand what the heck I'm talking
You
about.
can condense it without having to give everything.
I'm like,
Hmm.
okay.
I think I think you can just start with the decision and then
Okay.
go from there. I don't
All
think you
right.
have to. Yeah,
Yo, I'm telling you, like I'm trying to like in my head.
she's trying to sit here and like, y'all, let's take it back to 2001. Pop. No.
I
Bring it back.
can't. All
Bring it
right.
closer.
All right. Let me just, yeah. Okay. So, boom. Here we go. I wanted to have a baby, right? At one point in my life, I never wanted to have kids. And then I was like, you know what? I want to have kids. Like, I fell in love with this man, and this man made me think in my head that this is what I want. Like, I want this family, and it's going to be worth it. And I feel safe, and this is what I want, right? Um, and then we didn't work out at one point, and it was like, all right, whatever. And then I ended up getting pregnant, had a miscarriage and all this extra. And then we ended up getting back together, and I was like, you know what? I want my baby, and I want my baby now. I've wanted the baby. I want my baby before I turn, in, by the time I'm 25 and blah, blah, blah. And like, I was very set on having a kid by a certain age. Like, if I didn't have this kid by a certain age, it wasn't happening. Um, so boom, got pregnant. And it was tough because at first I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna get pregnant. Like it took me forever after the miscarriage, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, the baby is not gonna happen. My sister had gotten pregnant before me, and I'm just like, I was a little upset. Honestly, I was a little upset. I was like, dang, like this chick got pregnant and I'm still not pregnant. I was happy, but I was like, me, it's my turn. um, God, y'all, I'm dragging this part on because I am just like my hands are shaking. Okay. Dora, chime in because I can't. My emotions aren't letting me be great right now.
Well, in my head, I'm just trying to figure out what do you want? Do y'all want to know where I was during this? I was here.
She
I
was here
was
through all of it.
I was here through all of it. I will say my part. Did I agree? Because even hearing the statements, I'm like, oh God, the PTSD that I have because of this. Um, I was and Lex and I have had candid conversations in regards to this. I was not completely on board.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not a little
Not
bit,
even
not
a
at
little
all.
bit.
No.
She was like, "No,
No.
girl, no,
The
don't do it."
idea of basing a pregnancy around an age, just I was like, girl, there are things you're not paying attention to.
And I wasn't because I was
And
really in La La Land.
yeah,
I was really in La La Land.
and for me, being a bystander, because again, people live their lives, and as close as Lex and I are, I can't dictate decisions. People make decisions for themselves. I just then had to just be there. And I said, okay, well, by the time this was disclosed, and I was like, well, I don't think it's a great idea. Like, there's things that you're not putting into play. And then next thing you know, it's like she's pregnant. So at this point, it's just, well, we here now.
Right. It's like, this is what we
So
doing.
this is what we doing. So while it was a congratulations,
It
it
was,
was a congratulations with many, like a fearful congratulations for me, if I have to be honest.
yeah.
Because the things that she did not take into account, I had taken into account because of the fact that I guess
It's
with
easier when you're not living in it.
no,
It's
not that
easier when
no,
you're not living in
no.
it.
Let's just
Yes.
pull it back. For me, the reason why I took into account, and I have to speak my own truth, is because there were specific reasons as to why I have not had a child at this age. That's how I knew. Because the things that you weren't taking into account were things that I did take into account. And I did not feel that I could provide that stability for a child. And I always found that to be a very important thing, because one thing that I do have to give it up for my mother, and I will give her props till the day that the Lord Jesus Christ takes her off this earth, is my mother always instilled that in us, that parenthood, whether chosen, oops, whatever you want, is something very purposeful. And you have but one chance and one chance alone. And she ingrained that both to myself and my sibling. And that was no joke. Don't come up here trying to be a half ass parent or anything like that, or providing, whatever, because again, you're going to feel it in your bones when it's blood of your blood. And I always went to sleep with that. So the reason why I was not in agreement with that was because of that. That always stayed. It was my mother. My mother was the one that resonated. And until this day, it's just like, damn, it's a tough conversation, but yeah, that's my truth. That is the reason why I never stepped into that platform, because parenthood for me comes at a whole different, like, I have so much respect for parents, mothers, parent, like like anybody, like a father, somebody that's present and doing and raising. It takes so much. It takes so much.
It
So
does.
it's just like I have a respect and a little fear of doing that. But I mean, when you're in it, I mean, I we had to go with it. Like, what are we to do? Like, that's where
Well,
we
when
were.
I said it's different when you're in it, I was referring to like the eyes that I saw that through are not the eyes that I see it through now, obviously, because
Mhm.
I'm living my reality, right? But Dora calls it naive. I call it stupid. I was very stupid.
I
She calls it
naive,
naive. I just say that I was stupid because literally everything was like in my face, in my face, in my face.
naive.
And I was just like, no, but this and no, but that, but
Okay, but
it can be this instead of, but it is
how
this.
candid are we? How candid are we going on this?
We're as candid as it needs to be for them to understand the point.
Okay. So part of me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I am not you. I know bits and pieces and what I've lived through, vicariously through you.
Right.
But I always felt that the reason why, not so much the age range, like I never understood why there was just such a, I guess, emphasis on that age,
Mhm.
but the emphasis on later on wanting to be a mom, right, or having to be a mom was always to, in a way, repair some of your broken pieces from your childhood. I've always seen it as you want to, and and again, because I don't want people taking this the wrong way. Lex is an amazing mother. Um, and she doesn't give herself enough credit for that. But she's a little psycho with certain things. But because of
Smidge.
that, it's because of the background. And again, not trying to offend anybody, but what you think you lack, you want to make sure that your offspring never has to go through that. And I think also with having a child, um, it was in a way, should you be healed before you have a child? Yes. But at the same time, Turtle came with healing powers to your life
Yes, she
because it
did.
allowed certain things to, like those broken pieces, you allowed to
Oh,
rebuild
I'm about to
another
cry
different
on this
way.
flipping recording. I'm not gonna cry today.
So that's why I think she was very important. But did I agree with the point in time when you're like, well, sis, this is what I want to do because I'm 25? I said, bitch, you crazy.
It's so funny because when I talk about her, I always say like, "Yo, I wanted you so bad. I just didn't know I needed you."
Right.
I really didn't know I needed her. Like,
Take a moment, girl.
there were so many things. Ooh, that could have been avoided. There were so many things that could have been avoided,
Hmm.
and there were so many things that I could have done differently. But had I done them differently, I wouldn't have her. And had I seen things differently, I wouldn't have her.
And that's what I'm saying. The biggest step for you is forgiving yourself. Oh my God. Am I going to really say this? Oh, Lord Jesus. Um,
Oh God, y'all, I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't go cry today, but it's been an emotional week.
okay. So I think we just have to kind of pull the cat out of the bag and just understand that the one thing that I feel, and I've told you this before, and this is why I say that you were naive and not stupid, is you made the best decision based on what you saw. And what you saw at that point was a limited spectrum to what your reality was. But that's what we all do. You can't hold yourself hostage because obviously, if you would have known better, you would have done better. But all you knew was that. So that's why I don't want to call it stupid. I want to call it naive. And again, you being young and naive, even if people were to point out certain situations, you didn't understand that because you did not see that. I feel that when Turtle came into your life, that love that you always felt that you were missing appeared to you. And that allowed you to tap into other places that you did not know. Where I had a different upbringing, so my perspective was always different, if that makes sense or not.
Yeah. They're probably so confused because I haven't brought in Penelope and how this all like
Yeah, I just wanted to allow
binds
you,
together.
right, but that's
Okay.
your thesis. I
I
was about to
know.
say it, I
I
was like,
know.
let her say it."
No, it's fine. Or they're probably like, what in the world is this girl talking about? Why is she crying? All right. For all of this to make sense, for the topic to even make sense, right? A lot has to be said. Um, first of all, for those of you that don't know, Penelope has two other kids outside of my child. Um, and when we got together, he, him and his other baby, his ex-wife, baby mama, whatever, um, they had separated, and all I knew at the time was that, he would get his kids on the weekend and he would spend time with his kids, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously I met them. It was, we've been together for so long now. It's just like, I met them and then I started spending time with the kids. I love his kids so much. It's ridiculous. But it's, I didn't know the full background of his ex-wife and him. And that part is not fully my story to share. So I can only share how it affected me. But from what I gathered, based on, because everybody's like, oh, well, he has kids, so you should know what type of parent he is or whatever. And it's like, not really, because only thing I knew was what I was being told. And what I was being told was the ex wife was difficult. And they would always argue. And that part I would see because I would literally be sitting in my car downstairs while we were going to go pick up the kids for like an hour, 2 hours sometimes. And I'm calling, like, what is going on? And they're arguing and I can hear it. It's not just because he would be like, oh, you don't believe me, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And now I hear it. I'm like, oh, you guys are like really like yelling at each other. Like, what's going on? Just bring the kids. Let's go. So in my head, it was like, all right, well, you can't see your kids because your ex wife is difficult and it makes the process difficult. Little did I know,
You the difficult one.
right? He was the difficult one. Um, and
Just
I
yeah.
and she had every right. She was within all of her rights to be upset. And what I mean by that is, since having my daughter, I know why she's like, I wholeheartedly, completely get it now. I get it. It was because you're not doing what you should be doing. You're not being a present parent, as present as you can be or as you should be. And it didn't make sense because I'm just like, well, how can you expect them to be present when, it's not like they live there 24/7, but here I am. We live together 24/7 and you're not being a present parent. I am doing it by myself. I'm literally doing it by myself. And it turns into this thing because I wanted the baby. I wanted the baby. You know, he was content. He had two kids already. Boy, girl, done. So in my case, it's slightly different because it's a constant reminder of, well, you wanted this. This is your responsibility. But at the end of the day, I didn't lay down and have this child by myself. You still made a choice, regardless of how you feel, to lay down and have this child with me. And I'm basically here. We're practically married. And what I say by practically married is we've been together so long. We've been living together so long. Finances, like it's a whole. It's a marriage without a ring, without a paper, without titles. It's just it is what it is. And thank God, thank God, there's no ring and no paper, no titles. Thank God. Oh, that would be a whole nother problem. But what I will say is, it sucks being married and a single mom. You don't. It's you wake up every day just doing it alone, yet living together. I don't know. I can only speak for myself, my own feelings, my own situation. Um, but what I will say is it sucks waking up and you have a partner, but you don't have help. And I'm not talking financials. At the end of the day, yes, Penelope pays the bills. Great. If I wasn't here, he'd be paying the bills anyway. So whoop de doo. Thanks. Anyways, because I know a lot of people always have something to say about that. Oh, but the man pays the bills. Guess what? If the women weren't there, the man would still have to pay rent, whether you're living in a room or a house or whatever. You still got to pay rent. You paying somebody some rent. You would still have to buy food for your house, even though technically I buy the food. I buy the food. Yeah, guys, I contribute. Hello, I buy the food. Um, So that's not an expense that he needs to worry about. But my point is, outside of providing financially, there's nothing else there. Like we have to fight about everything else. Literally everything else. It's like, okay, you went to work today. You come home and like that's all you're gonna do. You're just gonna go to work. That's it. That's your whole contribution to this is you're just going to work and paying the bills. Because God forbid I ask, hey, can you change a diaper so I can just eat my food? It's a problem. I gotta go to work and I gotta pay. I gotta come home and take care of the baby. It's like, I can I just eat my food? Like that's all I want to do. Or you know, you wake up and God forbid, it's like, can you just bring her to me since you're up anyway? Okay, all right, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. So there's no help.
Mhm.
There's no help. Like it's insane. Like I gotta fight for you to help me raise your kid.
But
I don't
I
get it.
I particularly think with Penelope, knowing him for the years that I do, it's just the conversation that was not had was the one about parenting and the vision of parenting and what is considered parenting to you.
Right.
Because for him,
Parenting is providing financially.
right,
That's it.
that's it
But
for
that's just not
him.
for him. It's not just parenting. That's everything. That's relationship. That's love language. That's parenting. That's like the whole shebang. That's it.
Right,
Good. Here's some money and here's some sex. That's what I got for you.
right.
Here's some money. Here's some sex.
Okay. Now I'm
Don't
going
ask for anything outside of that.
okay. And this is me and being devil's advocate and putting it all out there. But sis, how long have you been with this man?
I said I was stupid.
Again, no, 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 no.
I'm not asking for sympathy here. I literally
I'm
said
not
it's my fault.
I'm not my point is not to say, "Oh, stupid." My point is you cannot expect different if that's what you've allowed. And that's a lot of what our conversations through the years have been. He is who he is, but he's been showing he one thing he's been consistent in that.
One thing he's been right. Like it's not his fault, y'all. It's my fault. Like
He's been
I
consistent in that.
definitely didn't want to. It's not that I didn't want to see the red flags. I saw all of them, but in my head, I made them green. It was like, but this can be this, but
Right.
this version of him can be this version. I never took him at face value.
But also, what I will say is there are things vice versa where it's just you guys do not have the same love language whatsoever.
Not even a little bit.
But also at times you guys do not respect each other's love language either. And that's also a thing that
Yep.
clashes between you guys. So that's kind of like fuel to the fire. It's like throwing some gasoline on it because that's part of the problem. Sometimes there are things that are done and you understand that to him that's a big deal, but because to you it's not your love language, you just throw it out the door. And I already told you, I was like, you need to stop doing that because that's also not fair. Because the same things that you do for him, he's not taking it. Like it's just like make it make sense. It's a give and take.
So you're telling me
Mm.
money
Mm-hmm.
is
Is a love language? Yes, it is.
is everything for parenting and for relationship,
Oh
my
no, no,
nigga. God damn.
I'm not saying that I agree with his tactics. I'm just saying that he was consistent. He did not lie. And the conversation that should have had and happened was between you
You
guys
know what?
and
I don't think
accepting
that why that blah, blah. It didn't bother me before
because it didn't
because
affect
it didn't affect me.
right.
It didn't bother me before because it didn't affect me.
Mm-hmm.
That was the switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yumi was literally the switch.
Right.
It was she literally just came into my life and was like, "Ding dong, mom, hello. Do
Mm-hmm.
you not see all of these things
Mm-hmm.
are problematic?" And I was like, "Huh. Wow. Yeah, I've been doing this a long time.
Right.
It wasn't a problem before. I didn't care. enough for it to be a problem. I was
Mm,
out and about and I didn't care.
I it was always a problem. It was just never a problem for you because nothing has been as permanent as motherhood for you.
But that's what I'm saying.
Everything's been
That's
very
why I didn't care before. It was okay,
passing.
I'm going. I'm in and I'm
Mhm.
out. And I'm in
Right.
and I'm out. And I'm in and it's been my life.
Mhm.
That's why I've never even settled down in a space. I've
Because you've
I've
never
never
had
been
to.
longer. I don't think I've a year, maybe 2 was like the longest I've been in a space.
Mhm.
I move so much. I don't even settle in. I don't unpack my y'all. That's a whole different topic for a different day. But like the fear of settling down somewhere and making roots, as people say,
Mhm.
right? Like I can't do that.
Right.
And then she came into my life, and it was like I want to make roots. Like I want stability. I want consistency, and I want these things that you don't give.
And
And it's just like, huh.
you guys have been together for a very long time, but that's why it's just like I shy away from using the word married because married to me comes with a different type of transparency.
It's weird.
And you guys have been together and
I say married
right,
so freely because
but it's
yes,
not a
because it's
marriage.
no, I agree. I
Right.
agree. It's
Like
not.
I was just like, because let's just
I agree. It's not, but
allow this entity to be what it
it's
is.
been so long and it's always, oh, your wife or your husband. Like that's how people address us because we've been together so long that it's in
Hmm.
my head as such.
Yeah.
But no, realistically, no. It's weird because what's that term that you use about the pots?
But
It was a term that you had used before or a metaphor or whatever it is. Um, you were like, "Oh, a marriage is one pot, but you guys have one pot and then two individual pots."
right.
That's how we
Hmm.
are.
Right.
Like, this is mine, this is yours, this is
Hmm.
ours,
Right.
but everything is not ours. It's
Right.
like we're
Right.
fighting in two separate corners, and then we still have the middleman
Right.
that makes us like that's our together. We're together pot. We're
Hmm.
together pot,
Hmm.
but my pot is still good, and your pot still's over there, and
Right.
we make it work.
And to me, with my understanding and of what marriage is and the respect that I give it, that's not what marriage is.
I know. How do we even get here? I feel like we done went way off topic.
No, no, no. It was on topic.
I'm just
It
like,
was
I
as
feel like
to
we're like
why.
way off topic at this point.
It's you were just explaining how this all came to be.
Yeah, this is how we got here. But let me just get back to the point. And the point is being quote unquote married, right?
Being
And
together doesn't give you a marriage.
being to, no, not being together doesn't give you a helping parent. That's my point. Like just because you live in the same household with someone doesn't mean that they're a present parent.
Hmm.
And just because you live in the same household with someone doesn't mean that you're just going to automatically get the help that you think that you're going to get. Not even a little bit. And it's sad and it's unfair to not just the other parent, but the child. Because at the end of the day, that's the person who's going to suffer the most. That's the person who's going to suffer the most.
Um,
If I have to force your child on you, that's problematic. That child is going to then suffer because the day that we're no longer here, you're not going to look for this child because I had to force her on you while we were here.
oh no, no, no. I definitely feel that there are the child is going to know. Okay. So the child will know. But do I feel that that's going to be the end all be all? No. I think we're at a stage in the world where there's so many different makeups to what family is that it can be brought up in such a situation where the child can still feel loved and complete and whole, but understand who their parents are and how they differ. It's weird. Like, I used to be adamant, like,
That
oh
would
my
still
goodness.
require effort from both sides.
No, not necessarily.
How not?
That will still require effort from the parent that is present. Is it fair to that person? No, but then again, that person also made a decision. So that's what it comes down to. It's not a fair situation, but it's kind of like these are these are the spoons we selected, and this is what we have to work on. You don't have a fork. So you have spoons, so spoons are what you're going to use. And I feel that you have to see it that way in order to make that child a successful child, because if you see it in any other way, then that child will also see it as they're lacking of. No, they just don't have a fork, but they have many spoons, and we're going to celebrate the spoons that they have, and they're going to understand why the fork's not here.
Okay, well, when you put it that way.
I'm
Cool.
just saying it's just kind of like
For 2 seconds in the beginning, I wasn't following the whole
I
the
was
whole
like,
fork and spoon thing. I was like, "What are we
where am I
talking
going?
about? Where are you going
I don't
with
know,
this?"
but that
But then now that you said that, it's like,
right.
"Oh, that
Yes.
makes sense."
Like you can't, because again, not everybody is given the same cookies in life, right? Not everybody's given the same opportunity. Where are these
Why are we going
analogies? I
to
don't
right,
get.
all these analogies are
I
coming
don't
in
know.
and they're
Whatever.
like food related. I'm
I
like, "Girl, I ate already. Hold
I
on."
promise. I promise. I'm fasting, so you know. I promise. I promise. There's a point to this. But what I'm saying is, I think that's what you're um caught up on. One, I feel that you need to allow time to forgive yourself because
I
you feel
definitely haven't.
right. I feel like
I
you
am
feel
always
culpable
angry at
because of that.
myself. I want to be very clear about something here because I know that I've said a lot and it seems as if I'm pointing all the blame towards Penelope. I am not. I am very aware that through every stage I have made a decision. I am very aware that with those decisions came my child, came my responsibility, right? Um so I don't blame him for being who he is because he's been like this since I've met him. I'm just now angry about it. Now I'm upset about it. Now it's just like it's all hitting at once. And it's just like I take my frustrations out on him because of who he is, but I'm really mad at myself. I'm very angry with myself because I did this.
And me being the supporting person says she has spoons.
I know.
Because it's just the reality of it all. It's just there will be other ways to, and I think it's funny because again, I'm not a parent, but I've been a child and experienced my own upbringing. But if you take the relationship between one of my parents, I don't want to one of my parents, right? I never understood that dynamic. And I'm like, "Oh my god, like you're here, but I don't feel that you're here, but you're here. But why don't I don't feel like that with the other parent?" And I always used to hold that against that
That
parent.
parent.
And then I realized, I was like, "Wait, whoa. Hold up. That parent can only give you what they are taught.
Right.
And if they choose to not move past certain traumas, I
Or
cannot
certain cultural
right,
barriers. We're not
right,
even call
or
them traumas. People like "Yeah, everything's a trauma." Okay, something about that. This is a
right,
cultural barrier.
right. That like that's not their fault. Like now, and I mean, did it take me to become an adult to figure this out? Like as a child, I was just like very confused. But as an adult, I realize I'm like, okay, we have to, if I want the world to accept me for who I am, I also have to accept that my parents, right? One, there's no pamphlet to do this crap, right?
Yo, I wish. Anybody got a book on
Two,
parenting? I'm talking about like a real,
right.
all the tips, all the secrets I need to know.
And then the second thing is just many times, many of our parents were growing up through different circumstances while they were trying to raise us, right?
Right.
And three, it's just like they're human. So they're bound to make mistakes. And if you were the first one, guess what? You got all the hiccups, right? You got all the hiccups and they learn and progress. And again,
But
maybe
this
they
is kid
were
number 3, bruh.
but
3. I'm just saying. 3. This is not the
no,
first.
but my point, okay, my point was not that
Not the
he should
first.
have learned.
I'm just
My point
That's
was
my point.
she will get to an understanding that if this is who her father is and chooses to be, she will settle with her soul as long as she feels love
Or
from
she will feel completely abandoned and angry at me and feel like it's my fault that her father is not present.
And I will tell you this, how it is everything. Again, my mom always said, women are the neck. They tell the head exactly where to go. It's how you spin it and who you are. As a mother, stand strong. You have a female that you're raising. And if you give that child security and if you give that child all the love and she has all that outside love, because it takes a village to raise these children, okay? um
If y'all can see her face right now.
right, it's just she's going to be okay. She's not going to feel insecure. She's not going, because she's going to know the truth. She's going to know exactly what it is.
I find that part of Hispanic culture, because that is definitely, from what I've seen from Dominicans, let me be very specific, that is how the man shows love. And I'm not saying this is true for all Dominicans or all Hispanics, obviously. I'm saying the ones that I know personally, that has always been the case is, I'm the man, I provide the money. This is how I'm telling you I love you, and take it or leave it. There was never any extra. There was no help around the house. There was no helping with the child.
Right.
There was no respect for the woman for even doing and taking care of the kids. It was, here's the money. That's it. And I just hate that so much.
These men are traumatized.
It's
These men
ridiculous.
have problems with repressed emotions from childhood. These men were raised by other men that did the same exact thing. They know no different. It's a cycle that keeps going until you break the cycle.
Oh God, at this point I'm happy I had a daughter. Just like, yeah. I can't. It's insane to me.
But again, you have some of those same men, or I guess the offspring of those men that are
Right.
completely different and are completely devoted, because they understood that the position of a father is not just as far as a provider, but it's just like you have to give more. You have to be the listening ear. You have to be the loving touch. You have to be, the compassion, and you have to be the one to be able to show emotion, because it's done so much harm in their life. But that's evolution,
I feel
and
like this
you
is
have
about
to
to be a
sit there.
two-part. This is about to be a two-part episode because I got some things to say still, and I'm not finished.
I mean, we could cut it.
Just like this is gonna be a
we
two-part thing. Where
so
we at on the clock?
46 minutes, girl.
Yo, this is the two. Y'all, this is the two. This is the twofer. This is
Twofer.
the twofer. Um.
So we'll catch you back
Well, yeah, we'll be right back
with part two.
with part two. Bye.